Revenge films.
My name is Jonathan. I'm just an average company employee. Ever since I was little, I was a shy kid, and I didn't have that many friends growing up. When I became an adult and started working, that changed because there was an opportunity that changed everything for me. A couple of years after I started working and I was able to receive a decent salary, I joined an anime fan club, which was my hobby. Once I joined that club, I was instantly able to get along with these friends that shared the same interest. I started participating in the get-togethers that happened pretty regularly, and that became something to look forward to every week. At these get-togethers, we would always talk about animes, and the conversations would be really exciting. I was able to enjoy my time there, and my life became more fun. This is where I met my group of best friends. 2 years after I joined that club, there were new members that joined, and we decided to host a welcome party for them. There was a guy named Frank who was always leading these get-togethers, and he introduced the new member named Michael, who seemed a little bit more flashy than most of us.
Well then, Michael, will you please introduce yourself to the rest of the club? Sure. Nice to meet you all. The name is Michael.
Upon first glance, Michael looked like a fashionable guy wearing the latest trends, and I wasn't sure if he would fit in with the rest of us, who were more like anime nerds. But as we got to talk to him, I could tell that he loved anime as much as we did, and it felt like we could get along. In the beginning, Michael was on the more shy side and was pretty reserved, and he seemed like a nice guy. But the more he got used to these gatherings, he started pushing Frank to the side and began leading the club get-togethers.
Today, the participation fee is $60 per person.
What? Really? That seems expensive.
This restaurant is a little bit expensive, but the food is delicious, so why are you complaining?
Little by little, as he came to more get-togethers, Michael started to show his true colors. And as he did so, everybody was starting to have mixed feelings about him.
I barely drank anything today, so can you give me back half of my money for today's participation?
Wait, really? But I watched you. You had quite a few drinks.
I didn't drink at all, and everybody else is definitely drinking way more than I was, and it's not fair for me to have to pay the same amount of money when I didn't drink that much. I don't know about that.
Even though Michael was always really nitpicky about the money, it was clear that he was always thinking about the ways in which he could benefit. And whenever it was his birthday, he would always have a get-together, and it was a given that he would demand a birthday present from all of the club members. Even though when it came to the birthdays of the other members, he would ignore them and not show up. Michael wanted all of us to celebrate his birthday massively while he paid no mind to ours, and everybody was starting to dislike him more and more. Then one day, Michael told us that he had big news for us, so he gathered all the club members together. Quite some time after the time that he asked us to meet, Michael showed up late. But he wasn't alone. Standing next to him was a young woman that I had never seen before.
My bad. Did you guys wait for long?
No, it's fine. More importantly, who's the woman standing next to you?
Allow me to introduce you all. This is my fiancé, Michelle.
Nice to meet you all. I'm Melissa. I'm going to be Michael's wife.
This is the big news I had to share with you all today. We're gonna be getting married.
What, really? Well, congratulations.
Thanks, everybody. So, since we're going to be getting married, I'd like to collect the celebratory money from all of you. I was thinking about $500 per person. How does that sound?
You're telling us how much to give for celebratory money for your marriage?
Well, if you're going to be coming to our wedding, it's a given that you should be preparing celebratory money. That's the standard. We've all become really good friends. I mean, we're practically like best friends after all, right? So, don't you think that $500 is appropriate if you're one of the best friends?
Nobody could say anything, and we were all simply glaring at Michael. But then, the fiancé standing next to him woke up, and we were even more shocked by her words.
Wait a minute, are you actually planning on inviting these people to our wedding? Give me a break, no way. If this group of nerds comes to my wedding, it's going to be way too embarrassing, so you definitely can't invite them.
Why? But then if we don't invite them, then what about the celebratory money?
You can just take the celebratory money from them, right? I don't want any of my friends to know that my husband is an anime nerd, and if these people come, then everybody will find out.
All right, fine, everybody, you heard her, so just the celebratory money will be fine.
What the hell is that? That's ridiculous!
I mean, I guess it's fine, but you know you're going to regret this.
Why on earth would I regret this? As if.
I have no choice, can't you see? Look, Michelle is a cute girl that's up to date on all the trends. She's a girl that's in a completely different league from some anime nerds. So you should at least understand how she feels. This is your best friend's fiancé, after all.
Anyway, gross, creepy nerds like you better not come to my wedding no matter what. And you need to hand over the celebratory money to Michael before the wedding ceremony. Do you understand? Michael, let's go.
Sure. All right then, you know what to do. See you guys.
Watching the two of them say that and then walk away, we were all fed up. We all decided on the spot that we were going to remove Michael from the club. However, we didn't want to let Michael just get away with using us and treating us like this while he said and did whatever he wanted. And that was why we decided to get revenge on Michael and his fiancée, and we came up with a plan. Without realizing any of that, Michael repeatedly contacted us and the rest of the club members, annoying us about the celebratory money for his wedding. But behind the scenes, we were all on the same page, so we ignored everything. And then, it was the day of his wedding. Until the hour of the ceremony, Michael was continuing to message us, asking,
"Where's the celebratory money? You were supposed to give it to me before the wedding."
We continued to ignore him. On that day, we were all busy from the morning, putting a lot of effort into cleaning up our beloved cars. And then, just as planned, before the wedding began, we all drove our beloved cars to the wedding venue. This is it. It's our time to shine.
I polished my beautiful car for this very moment.
Me too.
Well then, why don't we get going?
And so, with our 6 cars in total, we arrived at the wedding venue. At the moment that we arrived, they were doing the bouquets outside of the wedding chapel.
Congratulations, Melissa. I hope you live happily ever after. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Huh? What's that sound? Wait a minute, the sound of those engines. Don't tell me that it's... Oh no!
Michael, what's the matter? What's wrong?
No, nothing at all.
When we arrived at the wedding venue, everybody that was there instantly turned their attention towards the sounds of the engines coming from us.
What is that over there? Is that a group of anime cars? Wow, that's amazing.
As soon as we arrived, we got out of our cars and we all started walking towards Michael. Everybody was staring at us like they had never seen anything like it before. There were even some people who started taking photos of our anime cars. On my beloved car, not only was my favorite beautiful female warrior anime character printed massively on it, I had also remodeled the interior of the car, so it instantly drew everybody's attention. Oh, hey, Michael, congratulations!
Hey, what the hell are you guys doing here? I told you not to come to the wedding, didn't I?
Melissa, wait a minute. Are these people your husband's friends? You know them? I don't know any of them.
Oh, please, they're just like acquaintances that I've seen maybe once or twice before.
Wait a minute, but I thought we were best friends. That's what you said. But if we're just acquaintances, then I guess there's no need for us to give any celebratory money. I brought $500 wrapped up in an envelope to give my best friend, but I'm just gonna take it back home with me.
No, wait a minute, I'll take that.
I told you, didn't I? Just to hand over the envelopes of money to Michael and not come to the wedding. So why did you show up here?
As soon as Melissa said those words, it was obvious that everybody that was standing there was stunned. In particular, Melissa's parents and Michael's parents were standing nearby, and it was written all over their faces that they had figured it out but didn't want to believe what was going on.
These are Michael's friends, aren't they? Wait a minute. Oh, please don't tell me that you were trying to take celebratory money from them without inviting them to the wedding. Because I didn't want anybody to find out that Michael had friends that were this nerdy and weird, so...
Michael, you were part of this plan too, weren't you?
No, well, it's not like that.
If I remember correctly, you guys were the ones that said creepy nerds can just pay the celebratory money and aren't invited, right? You told us not to show up at this wedding.
Yeah, I remember being told that as well.
I can't believe that you would force your friends to give you money. How pathetic. You should be ashamed of yourself.
This is the worst. Because of you guys, my wedding is a disaster. But also, I've been thinking this since the first time I met them. Like, why are you even friends with nerds like this? I'm going to cancel this wedding. I don't want to marry you.
She said that, and then for some reason, Melissa was furious and she stormed away from the scene. The only people that were left were the parents of both families, and they turned to us and deeply apologized. Now that our mission was accomplished, we all tried to get into our beloved cars and leave, but some of the kids that had attended the wedding came and gathered around our cars.
Wow, this car is so cool!
It is, isn't it? Do you like animes about warriors like this?
Yeah, I love them! Mommy, take a picture for me!
As it turns out, the only people that were embarrassed of nerds were Melissa and Michael. Nobody else seemed to care. In addition to our revenge, being able to see that was really satisfying for all of us. It was nice to know that not everybody was as judgmental as the two of them. After that, Melissa was bashed by both families for trying to boycott the marriage in the middle of the wedding, and in the end, their engagement was destroyed. All of the celebratory money was returned to the people who attended the wedding, and Melissa was stuck having to take responsibility for all of the wedding venue expenses. Only then did Melissa realize the gravity of the situation, and apparently she tried to go around to every wedding guest and apologize to them. But it was already too late, and nobody wanted to have anything to do with her. Michael was also scolded intensely by both families, and he was also left with no friends or the support of his parents. A couple of days after the wedding, he came over to us and tried to apologize. He did seem like he really regretted it, but there was no way that we would want to become friends with somebody that would treat us like that ever again. It's not like life was that easy. He can't always get his way so selfishly. Just as we had planned, we kicked Michael out of our club, and he was never allowed to join the meetings again. After Michael was kicked out, the get-togethers became peaceful and fun again, and we were all able to have as much fun as we used to. I hope we never have a member like Michael ever again.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.